I'm starting to feel sick because I'm going against the grain too much, I think. And I'm also isolated too much. Um, I kind of feel like Cinderella when I go out at night, or if I go out at all. I feel like if I'm out too much, I start to turn into a pumpkin. I got to get back home, and I have this restricted diet that I do that I think has either something to do with trauma from my upbringing or autism or both, probably both. And it's hard to have a social life when you have these restricted eating habits and that you're sensitive about them and you get triggered about them and you can't really eat with people, try new things, and then it's too expensive to try new things. Um, it's one of the reasons why inflation sucks so fucking hard is you can't afford to feed yourself anymore. And then you stick to the foods that you know are safe and cheap. You know, rice, beef, milk, staples that you can buy at the grocery store, cook at home, and then you get this like dementia, man, when you're not trying new things. It's a weird type of dementia. You can have it when you're really young. You can just start mentally deteriorating and fading away into this dark hole in four-cornered room by yourself with memories of times worse than now even. But starting to question my life choices, lack of accomplishments, being behind, and I've never really cared about these things, but everyone else does, and if everyone else does, you need them to function. And I don't really have a way to get out of that rut that's been built. And I mean, I saw a couple guys today when I was on the trail. We had a convo about just the different parks. Moved it along. A lot of little conversations I have, and watching people and acquaintances and friends. Well, not really friends, but like work acquaintances. And I mean, at work, it's been a very toxic environment for quite some time. Everyone's a bit of a character there, as well as me. And I kind of have a angry face at resting. It's not approachable, so I have to really animate myself and smile and be a little bit charming with customer service, and it's easy for me. I have lots of people that like me, client wise. It is easy, and it's not even tiring anymore. It used to be, but with the coworkers, it's different. And I used to think that it was kind of like an iron sharpens iron thing, like it was sharpening me up to be on my toes all the time and not relaxing, but it's kind of leaving me shell shocked, and a little bit not knowing who's with me or who's against me. It's a very vindictive office politics type setting, at least it appears to be. That's me questioning, like, if I'm the bad guy here. But like, I've seen that coworkers leave notes like talking shit about me, so I know that it's not all in my head. I don't know exactly who started it, because things usually go a tit for tat, and one person will say or give a vibe, and then another person will say or give a vibe, and it kind of goes back and forth. And I don't know if they misread something that I did to get them to dislike me, or if it's just my upbringing and theirs are different. I feel like I am treated like a child there. I feel like they're always trying to catch me in the wrong, but I'm not doing wrong. And I mean, to be treated like a child and like people watching to see if you do something wrong and to jump on it and make fun of you, I don't think it's mentally healthy to be there. I thought it was. I thought it was probably good, like character building, something that'll, like I said, sharpen me up, keep me on my toes. But I think it's been doing the opposite. I think it's been chipping away at who I am. I think it's been slowly eating me. And it's such a night and day situation because the people that come in and rent the spaces are so nice. And I don't feel like I have to put up a effort with them, but I have to put up an effort with the coworkers. It's weird. And then I'm thinking about my work life when I'm at home, because I don't have much friends. My sister's coming to visit in a few days. I bought my niece a plush toy, a stuffed animal. That'll be nice. I mean, this channel's kind of taking a depressing turn. It's like a sad cast now. But I mean, I can't do a happy video when I'm feeling sad, and I can't make a sad video when I'm feeling happy, and I just want to document how I'm feeling, I guess. It's like a open diary, like I've said before. And these are my experiences and my feelings. Almost like it's kind of narcissistic of me to do this, to roll around feeling sorry for myself. Like, who am I? But I could maybe join some kind of club. I don't know. Maybe I'll Google, see some sort of club. I don't know why people at my work would try to fuck with me when I'm near a breakdown, basically. Doesn't make sense. I think people like to watch people burn out. There's one person at work that I've been talking to, and I stopped talking to them to see if they'll come up to me, and if it's not just a one-way conversation, a one-way friendship. So, see how that goes. Yeah, I don't think it's sharpening me up to be under attack for no reason all the time. I think it's dulling me. Hopefully I'm not psychotic as well. You do walk a thin line with that when you isolate. It's funny how a girlfriend can make everything sunshine. It's a night and day situation when you have a girlfriend, even an abusive girlfriend that throws rocks at your head and yells at you for no reason because her last boyfriend was an asshole and she takes it out on you. Thinks all men is the same. Even that's better than this. And then a girlfriend has a social circle. I think maybe a lot of men are victims to that, is they have all their friends are met through their wives or their girlfriends, and then they break up and then they have nobody. And I have to find some kind of hobby that I can invite just platonic male friends to. Like a bowling league or something. I don't know what I would be. Like a bowling league or some mild crack smoking and stealing copper pipes. No, I'm just kidding. But a bowling league would be nice. Kind of want to do this salsa dancing club, but I work on that day. Like I'm actually like the employee at the building when they do their salsa dancing, so I can't do it. I'd be awkward at first, but I could try. I know in the summer they have it on a day that I'm not working. So I'm gonna try it then, but it's a long wait to do something. I know there's this is completely unrelated, but there's a homeless lady that comes into my work and I let her sit around and I'm not supposed to. And if this is seen by my boss, I'll probably get fired for it. But I mean, there is one side where there's like this restaurant and they're separate and they let her sit there. So I mean, maybe I wouldn't get fired, but I talk to her sometimes. I talk to homeless people sometimes. Just like as conversations and someone to talk to. I mean, when I'm letting homeless people sit, I feel like I'm going against the grain, like I'm some Oscar Schindler type figure, and I get all in my head, ooh, yeah, I feel good, ooh, dopamine, oh, I'm the best, I'm so moral. And I mean, I shouldn't tear that down too much, because that's a positive. That's actually me being a good person, so I mean. And it goes into that punching down video that I did. I'm not punching down. I'm actually bringing people up. So, I mean, I am a positive force where I'm at. But it's very tiresome and there's nobody waiting at home for me. There's no girl I can tell this to. There's no dog. My dog's gone. My boss says that I can't bring a puppy in, so I mean I can't really get a new dog. I don't know why my boss is leaning on me, or if he even is. I'm questioning maybe I'm the asshole here, but I really fucking doubt it. He's been after me for a while. I think he's jealous that other people, the clients, like me as well. And he sees me as a freeloader because I don't work as many shifts as him. At least that's how I interpret it. But he's the freeloader. He leaves early. He goes kayaking. He gets someone else to cover for him. He's making full salary and he's working like 20 hours a week. So, I mean, might be nothing. I might be able to patch it over. And it's a pissing contest at this point. An unnecessary pissing contest that I don't know how I got into, but he's been basically just trying to chip away at me slowly, just eat my soul. Him and another one. People can't let someone below them happy. Someone can't see an underling or a homeless person living a life that makes them fulfilled and smiling without saying, I'm better and I'm going to put you under my thumb. See how it is on Monday. Said in another video I might try a hormone supplement because I feel older than I am. Maybe I need some more swimmers in my sack. Maybe that's the problem. There's a lot of people on TRT now. Maybe I need some bull shark injections. I don't know if anyone played Grand Theft Auto 4, the Brucey character. This is the longest and probably the most depressing and crappy video that I've made for this channel. And I'm going to post it because I don't really care. Serves no value, really. It's basically the exact opposite of a grind set video. It's basically like a sad set video. Oh my god. And I mean, like, why would I have expected anything different? Like, when I was in high school, we had these standardized tests, and you know those do not write in these area? I drew a bunch of dicks on those areas. I just fucking scribbled everywhere, didn't take it seriously, got a 0, left. Like, that's the kind of student I was. So I had all this shit coming to me. This isn't... Maybe that's why I like the job, is I like dragging myself through the coals. I like people shitting on me because I feel like I deserve it and I didn't amount to anything and I need to right my wrongs and I need to punish myself. But I think punishing myself is just making me more bitter, not less. And I think it's slowing healing, not speeding it up. It's not teaching humility, it's teaching bitterness. Because when I was a kid, like, I used to just get drunk on the city bus. I would smash the bottle on the sidewalk. Fuck you. I'd kick people in the balls. I'd throw sand in their eyes. So, I mean, I don't know how much longer I can drag myself through the coals just for doing some punk teenage stuff. Some autistic kid that had a psychopath dad that used to smack him around has now destroyed his life for years and won't fix himself and will complain on YouTube about it. And It's a constant struggle just to keep your head above water. That's all I'm trying to do. Trying to survive, trying to do some good, trying to right some wrong. Even if I could move away from everything and start over, I don't know. I've been good to people the last few years, but I think maybe if I double down on being good and if I'm better to people, even still. Maybe ignore the bad completely and just assume that they're meaning well. Maybe if you treat them like they're meaning well, they'll be killed with kindness, or they'll rethink what they're doing and they'll just treat you better. I mean, when I go out, I'm saying hello to everybody, I'm smiling at everybody, I'm waving at everybody, nodding to everybody. People don't nod back usually, sometimes. I guess I should get on my phone. There's 2 people I can try to get to wingman me. Maybe go to a restaurant. Well, not a restaurant, but like a brewery. That's the big thing here. And see if there's any sort of thing I can do, like to get into speaking with people at a normal level. A human contact. I think I'll do that. I have to do that. I'm going to go crazy if I don't do that. I don't know why I'm not doing it. Just habit. Just habit. Just a lost person that sits at home. Just out of fear, I guess. When's it appropriate to punch someone in the face legally is something I've always struggled with. Because when there's somebody fucking with me, I'm not afraid to fight, but I'm afraid to go to jail, and I'm afraid to embarrass my mom and have my mom have a criminal son or something. And I overthink it. And I used to be the opposite way. I used to be just an aggressive little shit that punch people, like sucker punch people. And now I don't trust myself when I go out. Because I think someone's going to stare at me and I'm going to have to hit them. People are pretty soft nowadays, though. I don't think people want to fight like that anymore. Probably been too harsh on myself. That's probably another thing. Because why can't I just be with other people? It's probably because my dad said I couldn't, and that my dad ingrained that I was a loser very early, that I was never going to be anything and need to shoot down every dream I had. I wasn't even allowed to smile. Get spanked for laughing at the dinner table. Get yelled at. And grab my ears, shake my head, screaming in my face. Call me a fag when I'd wear athletic socks. He threw them in the garbage. Only one time I did that. And you just sit at home and you'd get drunk. Now I'm not getting drunk, but I'm sitting at home, isolating. And he used to just always like fantasize about beating people up. And now I'm kind of in my head, like, not fantasizing about just beating people up, but like, what would I do in a self-defense situation? Someone comes up, I'm all timid. I'm kind of like, oh, what do I do if this guy comes at me? And I'm always thinking like violent, rigid, stiff thinking. And I think anyone who was abused as a kid is going to have that. I can't believe the things my dad did. Like, he was fucking just insane. Like, we had this Shih Tzu dog that he never trained, and it would shit in the house. And then instead of like training it properly, he would actually like grab the shit and just mash it down the dog's throat and open and shut its mouth, having it eat it. And he'd knock on its skull, screaming in its face, like just beating the shit out of like this small Shih Tzu, which eventually had tumors in its feet, was just shitting blood, straight diarrhea blood. Didn't put it down, just had it suffer. Lived to like 17. The last 5 years of its life, it was just shitting diarrhea, blood everywhere. He had this drum of water that he would drown marmots in. Just getting drunk watching Lindsay Lohan movies. No job. Calling my mom a cunt. My mom smashing plates on the ground. He would stare at the neighbors, start fights with the neighbors, try to sue the neighbors. He has a website that he sues like everyone. He was an internet troll before internet trolls were even a thing. He would Photoshop dicks in people's mouths that were around the neighborhood. He was also, I think, a paranoid schizophrenic type. Because we weren't allowed to talk to my mom's family. My mom wasn't really... like, when my mom's mom would call the house, we'd have monitored phone calls. Like, he'd be on the other end with the phone listening in. So we weren't talking badly about him. He was a manipulative, controlling guy with my mom. I think he basically groomed my mom. Moved her away to another city, wasn't allowing her to contact her family as much as she wanted to. My mom didn't want kids. She ended up having 3. Wasn't her choice, wasn't her decision. My parents only had enough money for 1 kid at most. They ended up having 3. My dad's alcoholism spiraled worse to each kid. By the time I came around, it was just screaming, smashing plates everywhere. Dysfunctional. I was on the street when I was 13. Wouldn't come home. Be out all night. Hanging out with people that were like 25, in and out of prisons. I had a guy put a knife in my hand one day, told me to bait. I don't know if it was to kill a guy or just to rob him, but I didn't do it. They beat the shit out of me, threw me on the street. Always liked reading, always liked swimming, always liked weightlifting, always liked dogs. Positives. I need a family. Never wanted a family because what I saw my dad doing. But I'm better than my dad. Even a slight improvement is better than nothing, and I think I'm a lot better than slightly. I think just being able to understand right and wrong and to progress out of this nonsense is huge. But I don't know where I'll wind up. But I always position myself in a position of strength, and it's hard to work underneath somebody when you're doing that. It's hard for me to take orders because my dad would dictate absurd rules and based on superstitions that were like folk superstitions, not even like real parenting. And like antisocial behavior and traditional things that would have been punished were rewarded with my dad. Like I would smack his brother on the back of the head and run around screaming profanities, and that kind of stuff was always entertaining to my dad. I remember my dad would go to restaurants and he'd leave a penny as a tip. He'd shit his pants. I don't know why. My mom would have to scrub it out of his underwear. He wouldn't brush his teeth. All his teeth fell out of his mouth. I might edit this video to cut out the pauses. I'll probably upload it leaving them in, and then if there's no audience retention to this video, I'll either delete it or I'll edit the pauses out and repost it, or post a second video and keep both. I don't know. I'm very tired. Mentally burnt out. I feel like I have to represent for people on the street. I feel like there's a lot of people that don't have a voice, and I feel like that's why I'm on here. It's because at one point during my early teens, I was one of them, because I was not in school, I wasn't at home. The only place safe was a freezing cold hellscape of the street, which is complete madness, but that's how it was. And then the oasis was the library or the swimming pool. That's probably where the disagreement started at work too, is the treatment of the homeless people. They can tell that I'm not the type that discriminates against them, and they use homeless as a scapegoat for all of society's problems, and they want to punch down. I think that's where all this shit started. You have to go with the grain. You have to be the same as everyone. And you gotta hate the homeless. That's how it is here. I have nothing in common with the homeless at this point. It's so far gone. I'm not that guy anymore. I'm not some guy that's lost on the street. I'm not drinking. I'm sober. I'm trying to articulate myself. I'm jealous of people on the street in some ways, because they seem miserable, but they also seem happy that they have each other, and I don't have anyone. Sometimes I'm wondering if I would be happier on the street, even freezing cold, getting threatened and dying and getting drugs pushed on me. At least they have their community. And I miss that community. I also miss smashing the bottles on the street, not giving a fuck too. I miss trying to blend in with civil, cultured people that'll subtly shit all over you and giving you a smile, a fake smile, tell you a lie. I think that's all there is to say. I don't know what else I can say.